tell our audience what your podcast is about.
Yes, thank you for asking. So I am the host of the Passion on Purpose podcast, and we just celebrated our 100th episode.
Wow,
And I don't know, for me, that's like a big deal. And so that's been really fun. And so now one of our values at Vim is excellence. And I shouldn't sigh like that, but excellence is one of those things where like the bar is constantly moving.
Right.
And so now, like 100 episodes, 3 seasons, I'm sitting here thinking, how do we shake it up? How do we move the bar? And I kind of landed on it really recently. And impact, right? Mm-hmm. Big word for us lately, mm-hmm. Big word for where we're going. And so the Passion on Purpose podcast is about featuring industry leaders, business owners, entrepreneurs who are using passion, using heart, mm-hmm. using intention, doing that all on purpose to make impact in the world. Mm-hmm. And so I'm looking for, I'm uplevering like that question you asked me. Mm-hmm. I want to feature in these next 100 episodes, we are featuring business owners, industry leaders who are making impact through their brand. Big impact.
What's the youngest guest you've had on?
Ooh, youngest guest. Oh, it's so fun because he hasn't come on yet, but my little nephew is going to come on. I'm so excited. But then other than that, gosh, that's a great question.
Like the youngest entrepreneur.
Youngest entrepreneur. I would say probably in their 20s.
Okay.
I would love
We're going to
a young
have someone
one.
on in the coming months who's 16. I would love to introduce
I love that.
Or maybe he'll turn 17 by then. Who knows when his birthday is?
No, you got to get it soon so you can say 16.
Last one quick question. I want a quick answer.
Okay.
What has been your most satisfying customer client to work with?
Oh.
So I asked this. I've been asking this a lot from our guests. It's not
mm-hmm.
the answers we get aren't necessarily the biggest dollar customer.
No,
it's always like the smallest things that,
Yeah.
especially for impact like this podcast,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
that gets you going and
Yeah.
keeps you going.
Yeah.
So what has that customer been for you?
Well, KLS is phenomenal, but we definitely shared a lot about them. And I think the one that's also on my heart that feels like we're making impact and that they are trusting me and my team
Mm-hmm.
is an orthodontist locally in the Maple Valley and Enumclaw area, Kirby Nelson Orthodontist. And what I love about working with him and his team is they are so open to pushing the needle. Mm-hmm. He is the most hilarious, fun, silly, like shares dad jokes all the time. And in marketing, right? Like we don't have to be stiff and boring.
Yeah.
And so much of what consumers are loving are this like the satire, the fun, the silly.
You're a real person, right?
Yeah. And he is he really authentically is that way.
Yeah.
And so we've been able to really authentically expand our team's threshold
mm-hmm.
to just like, do silly things that don't make sense and that, really go outside. We've always been outside our box, but our box is, if we're outside our box, we're just like in different hemispheres. Mm-hmm. So I think they are making big impact because they are recognizing that they can go all in and even deeper into their authentic selves to attract mm-hmm. those people,